I'm Jennie Vee, and this is my running story. I started running in 2003 to give my dog some exercise, and I eventually decided that I wanted to do a 5K. I signed up for the Firecracker 5K, and I think I ran it in about 35 minutes, but I loved it. I loved all the people that I met and the party afterwards, and I started doing a lot of 5Ks after that. Eventually, I kept doing 5Ks and signed up for the road race series, and I did my first half marathon in 2005 and decided that I wanted to do a marathon. So I trained really hard, and my first marathon was the Country Music Marathon in 2006. I had a really great race and a really good time, and I finished in 3:50, and I just fell in love with the marathon. There's really no feeling like it in the world, to finish a marathon and feeling strong. So I started thinking that maybe I could qualify for Boston, and I spent the next 8 or 9 months training, and in December of 2006 at the St. Jude Marathon, I qualified for the Boston Marathon for the very first time. So that was really one of the happiest moments of my life up until that point, and I was really excited to go to Boston and run the marathon. So I signed up, and in April of 2007, I ran my first Boston Marathon. Unfortunately, there was a nor'easter that year, and it was torrential rain and 50-mile-per-hour winds. And on top of that, I broke my foot at mile 10. But I finished the marathon because it's Boston and you finish it. And unfortunately, I was out of running for the next 9 months because of that. So I had to start completely over. But I knew that I wanted to go back to Boston one day and have a good race and a good experience, that kind of Boston everyone talks about. It took me 2 years. I trained for 2 years to requalify, and I finally requalified in 2010. And I went back to Boston in 2011, and that was my second Boston Marathon. And it was amazing. It was everything that I'd hoped Boston would be, with the crowds and a tailwind and just being around all the other, runners that also qualified. It was just a dream come true, and I didn't break my foot. So then I decided that I was going to do Boston every year, God willing, which would require me to qualify every year, which has been a challenge. But I made it back in 2012 for my third Boston Marathon, and that year it was 87 degrees, and the Boston Athletic Association did an amazing job of making sure everybody was cool and hydrated, but it was a pretty bad experience. So I immediately signed up for the Green Bay Marathon, and it was also 85 degrees, but I managed to get a Boston qualifier that day, so that was a pretty exciting moment. I did get my marathon PR that same year, last year in September, at the Hampton Rock Fest in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, and that was my life's dream of getting under 3 hours and 30 minutes, and I finally did it. So finally, for my fourth Boston Marathon, and it was the perfect day, and I had a really good race, and then the bombings happened. So it's been really tough because I've been focused on Boston for so long, and now I know that it's forever changed, but I will be back next year, and I always will love it. It is the best race in the world.